Hey YouTubers, Electric Adventures here with my monthly update for December 2015. Couple of days into January, not as bad as last year, because we generally go away and soak up a bit of sun, but my daughters had dancing this weekend, so we came back to do that, so I'm quickly recording this video. Absolutely lovely day outside, even though it's almost 6 PM here at the moment. It won't get dark till at least 8:30, 9 o'clock. Lots to cover, so I better get into it in a more relaxed mood, because I'm finally on holidays for the first time in a long time. Couple of PS2 games, haven't any of those for a while. I don't generally do gameplays of PS2 games, so now this is another one that I actually have some of the later games in the series, and I even have the game for the Vita, but I've never played the original. So Killzone for the PS2, it is the Platinum Edition, but I'm not too fussed with that, so I will probably, it seems to be reasonably complete, I'll probably suck that onto my PS2's hard drive and probably take it down to my holiday place and play it. And also another game that I've heard lots of good things about from many people over the years is Black. So another first person shooter. I've never played it. It's a normal edition with manual and disc, both in really good condition, and both I think I got those for like $5 plus postage, so always good. So not local, but local here in Australia. Another pickup which actually only arrived, which arrived on the 31st of December, so it does get included in this video. It's actually quite heavy, is the Game Chasers Season 2 DVD set. I haven't taken it out of the shrink wrap. I will be taking it out of the shrink wrap so I can watch them all again when I get some time. So I didn't go for anything other than, you know, the standard edition with the bonus disc. There were other higher things. Really couldn't afford it this time. Whereas last year's I got the you know, the one with the special bits and pieces. So looking forward to watching that. I've actually got quite a bit to watch rather than games this Christmas. Now on to Christmas. So Christmas Day. Well, to start with, my wife bought me a projector. I've actually had like a motorised projection screen in our lounge room for quite a long time, and our original projector broke down ages ago. I had another little projector that a friend of mine, you know, swapped me for something, but it's like, it didn't have HDMI input or anything like that. So projector I've got's nothing special. Was actually going to bring the box out when I did this, but I can't bother going to get it. It's nothing special. It's just an entry level projector. The laughable thing was it actually came with another pop-up projection screen, which you may actually put to use in this room here, if you want to bring the projector out here, and for even propping up a green screen. My second oldest daughter is into photography quite a bit at the moment, so it may be actually more useful for her. Now also from my wife is this t-shirt here. That's one of my favourites, Back to the Future. I've got a couple more sitting on the chair here. Now I've worn them and they've been washed, they haven't been ironed, so excuse the creases. So Jedi Master, quite nice material on that one. And Join the Dark Side. Always loved t-shirts, and even more when they're Star Wars related, and of course Back to the Future. That's actually my first Back to the Future related t-shirt. Now I have 4 daughters, and they all bought me presents, and I've only just realised I've forgotten one, so I'll try and take a picture of it and add it in, because I know my daughters watch these videos. So my eldest daughter, my daughters like to find me something Star Wars or science fiction related that they think I'll get a laugh out of, and this is actually quite funny. So it's called Star Wars Vader's Little Princess. So it's a kids book, and it's actually, you know, that an adult will get the humour of it. So as if Darth Vader was raising Leia and her, you know, going through the various stages of teenage angst and attitude and everything like that. It's actually really good. I'm not going to flip all the way through it. If you like that sort of thing, grab a copy. Really worthwhile and very funny. She also got me some Superman socks. There's 3 pairs, 1 pair on my feet. I'm not holding up my feet on video. My second eldest, and I'm sure I'm forgetting something here, found these Doctor Who comics. I hadn't actually seen these before. Now these were just the ones that were in the store, so I don't have. So that's a number 1 of the 12th Doctor. So I'm going to have to hunt down some of the others, but that's a number 3 of the 11th Doctor, and we have a number 3 of the 10th Doctor. So you know, I'm quite into my Star Wars and Doctor Who. They're my primary things, probably closely followed by Star Trek after that. So I'll do inserts of the other ones because I know I've gone and left some things inside. So, but anyway, the younger ones generally don't watch the video, so I shouldn't get too much trouble. But basically, I got a set of Star Wars, almost like army figures, like some commando figures, I think they're called. I'm just trying to think what my littlest one got me. She got me something funny. And then the next day, after Christmas, we went to the Boxing Day sales. So as usual, I get most of the family to get me some JB Hi-Fi vouchers or money, and I actually got quite a lot because in general Blu-rays were 20% off. There were not many specials on games. I was actually quite disappointed, so I said, well, bugger it, I'm not going to get any. The only one I did get was one that I found at a discount and I did want, was Minecraft for the Vita. And I've actually found that quite useful because I haven't been able to play Minecraft for a while because I can never seem to get on a computer, and I don't generally sit out in this room and play games on a computer. We've got one inside the house for that, but it's, you know, pretty much in use. We've only got the one screen with 2 computers on it, so either the littlest one's on the other computer, or my second eldest daughter, who's doing photography, is on there editing photos, so I don't get a look in. I probably should set my laptop. I mean, I have used my laptop for using Minecraft before, so the only disadvantage of this, it doesn't let you play in the online worlds, but still lets you, you know, have a bit of a play of Minecraft. And if the kids are playing Minecraft on the PS3, I can potentially join the worlds. I haven't tried that yet, but I played that when I was down at our holiday home and had a bit of fun. So that's the only video game in this stack. So the rest of these Blu-rays, and we have, and most of them are still in the shrink wrap because we haven't had a chance to watch them yet, and the movies I haven't seen. So Captain America Winter Soldier, Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit, as you can see, 2 for $30, and I got a further 20% off that. A movie, this is one we have seen, is World War Z, but we all like it so much. So this one I did see at the pictures with my wife, Edge of Tomorrow. It's actually a really good film. This one haven't seen it all yet. So Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, so the sequel to the first New Generation movie, and I quite enjoyed that movie. Now this one I did see in the pictures, and I really wanted this one. It took me ages to find a copy of this anyway, because it was sold out everywhere. Guardians of the Galaxy. This is my favourite movie of 2014. Out of thing, and probably now one of, you know, would at a fast pick would be one of my favourite movies ever. And also a lot of good things about this one, Lucy. So still in shrink wrap, haven't had a chance to watch it. We'll probably potentially watch Lucy or the Planet of the Apes movie tonight, or Captain America. It'll be a bit of a pick. So as far as you know, other pickups and things like that, I think that's it. I haven't really had a lot of time to prepare for this video, so I've probably forgotten some things. I mean, my wife also bought me some other novels, but they're not, you know, sci-fi related. So I'm always reading a book. I'm a bit slower than her. She turns through books so fast, it's not funny. Like, as an example, we always buy Harry Potter, the Terry Pratchett. He usually releases a book pretty much just before Christmas, so we've bought every one of his books each year. And it's either my wife, whoever finds the book first, first buys it for the other person, and they have to tell them that they've done so, because over some years we've both bought it. Haven't started reading that yet. That'll probably be the next book I read. So that's all the other pickups for this update. Sorry, I'm looking down at my list all the time to remind myself what I've got to cover. I thought I'd do a little section called Best Pickups of 2014. Others might want to, do a response, or in comments below, or a video response. I'm not sure anybody else has done this as well, and mine's going to be very generic. So one of the best pickups I thought of 2014 for me was actually getting a Japanese Saturn. Now, I had quite a reasonable PAL Saturn collection, which I still have, but I was finding that out of all of the games I had, there weren't a lot of games that I played a lot, and I am into shoot 'em ups a lot. So I made the leap, and Luke Morse, who repairs machines, actually sent me over a Japanese Saturn for a reasonable price. I already had Don Apache, and had a good game with that, and since then I've built up quite a reasonable Saturn collection. They're above my head, below the Dreamcast box. There is where my Saturn collection is. So it has actually built up quite a bit. I now have some duplicates in that from the Power Saturn collection. So at some stage I will be trimming my Power Saturn collection down, because I'll come more to when I do a bit of collection goals, a summary of what I'm going to do in the future. I am going to do a bit of selective trimming and tidying up of my collection, because you can only I mean, I know I have a bit of space in this room, but I don't want to have so much in here that I can't figure out what to play. Now, another main thing that I'm very proud of in 2014 is I have definitely progressed my MSX collection. There were some notable additions, some really nice homebrew titles, like the Muffy's Tutankhamun one and the Iridium, but also I actually managed to get quite a few Konami titles from. I may have had them loose in cartridge, but I've managed to complete them. I've added more Konami titles, and added quite a few RPGs, and quite a few other little auxiliary titles that I've picked up throughout the year. Actually, when reviewing it, realised that I got quite a few titles. So I've included a picture, just to get an idea of now that it's taking up quite a bit more shelf space, and it looks, I'm very pleased with my MSX collection, and it's allowing me to do that A to Z of my MSX collection series. And then another system that pretty much I got right at the beginning of the year was a Famicom. I've got a Famicom 2 system, which has AV out, and because I never experienced the NES when growing up, so I don't have the same attachment to the NES as you guys in the US do, and getting stuff from Japan is far easier for me than getting stuff from the US. So that's why I got a US a NES 2, because I've got the NES you see behind there is a PAL one. I took out the lockout chip so I could play US games, but still played them at 50 Hz, and it's one of the reasons why I don't like the NES, is because of that experience of how much slower the games are on there. And I have found some great titles, but I still haven't AV modded my US Famicom. So it is, I suppose, harder to play, and the games are harder to get for me. Postage from the US is terrible now. It wasn't like that at the beginning of the year, but this year some sort of agreement between our Australian Post Office and the US ran out, and the prices doubled, if not tripled. And plus you've got the eBay shipping service thing, which is absolutely ridiculous, considering anything under $1,000 in Australia we don't pay import duty on. So just getting stuff from the US is not practical anymore. So that's why I have had a lot of focus going to Japan, and I do like, I have always been a fan of Japanese stuff. They also have another advantage: the boxes are small, they don't take up as much space. As an example, the PC Engine and Saturn collections up there, they sit in a rack like that. The Famicom collection, they're in small boxes, and the artwork's fantastic, and there are some really good games. I've been lucky to pick up a copy of Crisis Force. That's probably one of the best pickups I've got for the Famicom, but I have actually picked up quite a few shoot 'em ups, but I've also discovered some other games that I've picked up in lots and for cheap. Some other interesting platformers and puzzle type games that I've quite enjoyed. I don't want the Famicom collection to spread out too much. I probably will stay focused primarily on shoot 'em ups. And that's probably, they're the best. I mean, it's not, I'm not like holding up one title and saying, you know, that was my best pickup, because there's too many games in there that I've really enjoyed playing to hold up one. So I thought it was easy to just do, you know, general areas like that. So next I'd like to do my collection goals for 2015. Sort of a thing started by Atarileaf many years ago. He does one every year, and several other YouTubers you know, set their general collection goals. I haven't actually gone back and had a look at mine, but I'm sure mine would have included, you know, working towards completing the Master System set. Now I'm going to say right now that I'm not going to do that, because, and it's clear, the prices on Master System games, especially the ones that I've got remaining, have gone stupid. There was, you know, a whole heap of titles got released onto Australian eBay recently, and they went for insane prices. So, and a lot of those titles I don't really care that much about. I'm not, I mean, I've finally worked out I'm not a complete set collector, although there are some little exceptions to that. I would like to work towards full sets on certain other things. The Master System is no longer a system that I want to do that on. I will still keep on hunting out for Master System titles for, you know, that I don't have in my collection, and I've actually got one sitting up there. There will be no pickup video in the next couple of weeks when I get a chance. That will get me one more closer. But I mean, it's just the prices being paid for those sort of things have just gone silly. So now I will be doing I will be remodeling this section that I sit in here, which is my office where I generally work, and moving the retro computers around and doing a general tidy up. So we'll be doing a collection, sorry, not a trades and sales video, and maybe if people want to trade me some Master System titles that I don't have, that would probably be my preference. That's probably the only way I'm going to progress the collection in the future. So I've told you what my collection goals are not. How about I work on what they are? So definitely my focus is going to be on getting more shoot 'em ups, but I have done quite well in the last couple, especially the second half of the year, and I have quite a backlog of shoot 'em ups that I haven't played enough. I do have some more that I've already purchased from Japan that will be coming in. Send them by slow freight, so they take about 2 months. So the first part of this year there'll probably be a few more, but then it might peter off a little bit and slow down a little bit. Most of the most of the titles will still focus on shoot 'em ups in for the various systems. No specific system, because the systems vary in price as you find them. I would also like to continue, you know, there's a few holes in my Collectorvision collection. More than half of my Collectorvision collection are homebrews. I would like more of the original games. I'm still missing some of those titles, and I'm quite happy to get a loose cartridge for the ones I'm missing for a time being. Obviously always prefer a box one, but you know, you've got to be prepared to pay the money, and I don't want to overspend. Also another thing, you know, gradually, but I have actually built up quite a reasonable Sega SG-1000 SC-3000 collection of titles. I still need to sit down and see if I can work out a list of what's available, because I'm sure it would actually be quite close, as somebody's doing some woodworking nearby, quite close to getting a full set of those titles. So I really need to sit down on that, and I'd like to, you know, see maybe that's something I could get a full set of titles on. So, and I believe I've got some of the more expensive ones for quite cheap. Another thing that I've picked up quite a few of in the last 6 months, just because they've been opportunistic. They've been on Australian eBay and they've been cheap, and or even I've picked up some in lots from Japan as well. They actually come up loose cartridges, lots, quite a lot in the auctions, but pretty much I've got all of the ones that come up all the time. And if there's like 6 cartridges and there's one loose that I don't have, it's still not really worth it. I might as well have spent that money maybe getting a boxed version of that, because at the end of the day, I do like getting boxed and complete of games that I like to collect. That's not everything. So they're my collection goals. I suppose another thing that I'm not doing in 2015, I really doubt, other than I have actually bought one more console. I'm not going to tell you which one it is because it'll spoil the surprise. I really don't see myself getting any more retro computers. Once again, if opportunity arose, and one of the ones that I've been after for a while, like a Memotech MTX. Seriously, I can't think of any others actually. That'd probably be the last one of the TI chipsets that I've been collecting. I mean, I've got enough Atari 8-bit computers to last me a lifetime. I mean, look, there are some other models out there that I don't have, but I'm not particularly fussed if I never get them. Oh, look, if an Atari 800, original 800 popped up, I'd grab one of those for pure nostalgia. But I don't see my retro computer collection increasing. And as I said, I'm going to tidy it all up, and it's actually going to move over to this side here. I'm going to change the way it's wired up and everything like that. Okay, so they are intrinsically my collection goals. So in a way, it's I'll still be getting stuff, still be doing pick up and plays, but you know, not getting so much bulk stuff. It'll be more, you know, quality over quantity, as other people say. There'll definitely be more homebrews. Yeah, I'll definitely, because a lot of the time, you know, you can go and get a lot from Japan, leaves you diverse funds, and then some homebrews come out, and you miss out on them because they, you know, they're still being produced in limited numbers, and if you don't get them at the particular time, and homebrews, because I mean they are a new item being produced, they're not second hand, they're not cheap, so they do take a fair bit of funds. So yeah, a bit more, leaving some funds in reserve to make sure that I get the homebrews. I like to get every Coleco homebrew that comes out, and I'm sure there'll be more quality MSX homebrews because that scene seems to have revved up a little bit. Alright, now I've probably waffled long enough, but one more bit I'd like to do. So coming up very soon, I'll have the next episode of my Let's Make a Retro Game. I see the first episode of which broadcast recently has been very well received. Thank you very much for all the feedback that has been posted on that and all the support. That is something that I do enjoy doing a lot, and there'll be another. I've got 2 episodes being edited at the moment. Obviously I've been on holidays and everything like that, so I've just got to capturing the thing and getting it the right size, and so that I'm happy with it. I'm being a bit fussier with this series and trying to do a bit more editing, things like that. And obviously this is a teaching thing, so it does need to be clear. Sorry, somebody's doing some woodwork. So that series has been going well. There'll be more episodes of my A to Z of my MSX collection. They've also been well received, and I'm enjoying those because I really like my MSX machine, and it's great to go back and play some games. It's an excuse to go back and play some games that I haven't tried for a while. And as when I do each letter, I actually play a couple of the games to decide on the one I want to actually choose as the one. And I record them all, and whichever one I chose, I used that original video. Now the Homebrew Community's new series, I just did not get time to do one in December. I'll try and get back them, minimum one a month, but it depends on what's been released out there. But the Homebrew Community is definitely heating up. There's quite a few things on the go. There's even a SNES cartridge being done by Collectorvision now. I'm only mentioning that now because it will probably be a couple of weeks before I'll get a chance to do that. And they have an Indiegogo campaign that I think's only got about 20 days to go. So I'll put a link down below if you want to go support that. Not very, you know, you don't see very many SNES games coming out, and it'd be great to have, you know, titles for the SNES coming out as homebrew. It'd be nice to see more. I wouldn't mind doing one of those on a 16-bit machine in the future myself, but I don't want to divert myself from finishing the 8-bit titles that I have in the works, and I do have quite a few titles on the wall at the moment. Now the Tubers High Score Challenge, I have quite enjoyed participating in that late in the year last year. It does involve making one video a week though, to go in those, and I do want to put a question out there. me having a go at a high score in a game is not necessarily the focus of this channel here. And when you're going for a high score, you're not necessarily doing commentary all the way through, because you're actually trying to focus and trying to get a high score. I'm thinking of the possibility of having a sub-channel just for posting high scores. Now I do have a Twitch account, which I've hardly ever used, but I did do a test just before Christmas, and that seems to work. I may do some high score practice attempts on Twitch. I'll put the link to my Twitch channel below. But I'm thinking about, because other than the Tubers High Score Challenge, there are actually a couple other games, especially on the Atari 2600, or one of them like Sequest. I did hold the record on it, and somebody's beaten me, so I want to have a few more goes at those games, but I don't want to flood this channel just with high scores. So anyway, it's something I think about, that maybe I just start a sub-channel, because I don't really care how many people watch those videos. It's more, it's a mechanism for me publishing those high scores. So, open for thoughts. Anyway, so hope everybody had a great Christmas and excellent New Year's. Hopefully people didn't get too drunk or injured themselves, and had a great time with their family and friends. Alright, so it's going to be a great 2015. Lots of videos from me this year, and I'll speak to you again soon.